Hi, my name is Rabbi Yosef Tropper, and I thank you so much for joining. This is Parshas Bereishis, and the title is True Light. And it's such a beautiful feeling to be able to say those words, Parshas Bereishis. This is an exciting journey that we're continuing, and Ezra Hashem, the help of Hashem, we should succeed and be able to grow together. The purpose of this segment is to provide a short and thought-provoking idea on the Parsha, and that's exactly what I want to do. It has often been said that Parshas Bereishis is one of the Parshas in the Torah that it's guaranteed that you're never going to have a full week to learn it. On the other Parshas, Noach, Lech Lecha Vayir, you have a regular week that it falls out on. You have from Sunday until Shabbos till they learn it. But Parshas Bereishis is always cut off because we finish the Torah on Simchas Torah and then we start Bereishis, and that coming Shabbos, whenever it is, if it's a day or two or three or four later, whatever the case is, that's when Bereishis ends. And this signifies the idea that Bereishis is jam-packed and there's so much to learn in the Parsha that our learning of Parshas Bereishis especially is never complete. And of course, our learning of the entire Torah is never complete, but Parshas Bereishis is jam-packed. One of the most beautiful ideas I'd love to talk about is Vayhi. Hashem created the light. And this light obviously is referring to a physical light, but from the Midrashim, it's clear from Chazal that there's a lot deeper things going on as well. And I'd like to just talk about that. And Chazal tell us that Hashem saw this light that he had created originally in the days of Bereishis, Sheshis Mei Bereishis, and he saw that it was not fit for the world to have. Not everyone was privileged to have it. It would be something that the tzaddikim would have to earn, and then they would get this and achieve this light. And therefore it was put away, and we got a less of a degree of the light. The sunlight that we have in this world is not anything that compares to the ultimate light that will be revealed in the future. And obviously that light that Hashem had put away was the light of brilliance and understanding and contemplation and depth of Torah knowledge. And I would like to talk about that a drop. Chazal tell us that a suma chashav kameis, someone that's blind, God forbid, is considered as if he's dead. And there's two famous explanations. There's nothing inferior about anyone that, God forbid, has a handicap at the least bit. But Rav Chaim Shmulevitz explains that someone that is blind, sometimes part of their life is dependent on others that are showing them how to get around. And that lack of free will on their own part, and that reliance on others, that lack of independence, so to speak, takes away from their freedom in life. And that's a challenge. And of course, the second part is that the second famous explanation as to why they're considered like they're not living is because part of life is seeing and getting around and being able to look around and enjoy the world around us. But of course, the depth is that someone who is spiritually blind and someone that is intellectually blind, so they certainly cannot be said to have lived. There are some people that were not able to see that certainly achieved more spiritual enlightenment than those that had their sight and didn't use it. So this light that Hashem put away was part of this idea, was the achievement of understanding. And Chazal tell us that the original light that Adam created, he was able to see misofo olam ad sofo, from one end of the world to the next. And of course, after it was put away, then even when it's light outside and it's a bright day, our vision is still limited. And so too, spiritually, our vision has certain limitations. But we have to understand that when we use our mind properly and we use our heart properly, we're able to see and connect to Hashem in a very, very deep way. And obviously these ideas are all very deep. I just want to try to explain a little bit more what I'm saying. Chazal tell us that the famous Gemara says that when Shlomo HaMelech captured King Ashpenai, who was the king of the Shadim, of the demons, so he did some very strange things when he was captured, and they asked him about it. He was a smart man, he knew about the spiritual realms, and he had a lot of insight. And there was one man that they had passed, and this man was using some type of magic, and he was looking for treasures. And Ashpenai saw him and laughed. And they asked Ashpenai after they passed by him, "Why were you laughing at that man?" And Ashpenai said, chuckling, that you don't understand. That guy, he's using all these types of magical spells and he's trying to find treasures, but he's sitting on one of the largest treasures in the entire world right underneath his own feet. And this is a lesson that I always understand this Gemara as a lot deeper idea, and that is to tell us that there's so much richness in our Torah, and there's so much richness in front of us, the beauty of life, the beauty of family, the beauty of the things that we have, that often we're looking outside of us and trying to get enlightenment and trying to understand things and trying to achieve things that are outside of us, but we don't realize that we ourselves are really sitting on the treasure. And this light and this understanding that Hashem has put into the world, that is put for the righteous people, is this understanding of what life is all about, what we're here for, what we're trying to accomplish. And there's nothing more beautiful and enjoyable than realizing that our very Torah and our very religion and our very spiritual essence is the most fulfilling and most beautiful thing that Hashem has given us. And my tefillah as we begin the Chumash is that Hashem should gal einai ve'abita neflos mitorsecha. He should open our eyes and enlighten us to see the beauty of life and all the great things that we have right in front of us. And He should fulfill all of the requests that we have to be able to understand and to get closer to Him and to be able to learn how to enjoy and use life to its fullest. I thank you so much for listening. I invite your questions, comments, and sponsorships as well. Thank you.